I have two projects. Let me set my coffee down. Sorry, I was just fixing this is the PDF I put together for today's live crafting workshop. You can find it on my blog. I posted the link to my blog on this video, so when we're done you can just tap on the link and go straight to it. It's titled Facebook Live Friday, April 10th, so you can print this out, but I'm going to show you how to make these two projects today. It tells you everything, all the dimensions, and then the Stampin' Up! Supplies that I used. So we can get started with the first one. The first one is the mini Easter basket that I actually posted it on my Instagram story a couple of weeks ago, and it's this little mini basket right here. Super easy. All you need are a few supplies. So I have everything cut. The first thing you're going to need is for your base down here is a 3.5, a little piece of cardstock, 3.5 by 3.5. Then you're going to need, for the actual basket part, a strip of designer series paper, whatever printed paper that you want to use. You can even use solid cardstock if you wanted to. And this is cut at 3 inches by 11 inches. Then you're going to need 3 1/2-inch strips. 2 that are measured at 1/2 inch by 11 inches, and 1 is 1/2 inch by 8.5 inches. And the 8.5-inch one is for your handle, and the other 2 are going to go around the top and the bottom of the basket. So let me put all this back inside my little plastic sleeve, and let's get started. I'm going to show you the first thing you have to do with the base. I like to use my Simply Scored tool because it makes the lines much easier to make. You just want to make sure that your paper is all the way in the corner. I use waxing paper just so that the stylus tool glides nice and smooth. You're going to want to score all 4 sides at 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch there. We're going to flip it. 1/2 inch there. Flip it. 1/2 inch there. And 1/2 inch on the last side. And we'll set that aside. Then you're going to take bone folder and fold up all 4 score lines that you just made. And then my scissors. Then you want to grab your paper snips, and it doesn't matter what side, just make sure you do 2 opposite sides. You're going to cut all the way up to that score line. So one side there and one side here. Okay, so then you're going to have these little flaps just like this. Then you take your, I like to use the Tombow. And you're going to put a little bit of Tombow, oops, on each end. Some here and some here. If you just hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds, that's all that the glue really needs. So that's all we need with the Tombow for now. Set that aside. Then you want to get your DSP. So this is the part that's going to go, this is going to be the print on the outside of the basket. Now the best way to put this together is using the tear and tape. So you want to use the tear and tape, put it all along the bottom of the DSP, and then one little strip on the side, just one side of it. I like to use the bone folder just to adhere it down really good. Then you lift up the tear and tape pieces. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the bottom part that you put the adhesive on, and you're gonna start gluing it. Make sure that your box is facing up this way. You're gonna start gluing it around the bottom edge of your 3.5 inch square. Okay, and the tear and tape adhesive is super strong. You want to give it a little bit of help though. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my bone folder and I'm pressing it against each other to make sure that it's glued in there really good. Okay, so see how this is coming together? This is the back side, so I'm going to stick with that as the back side. Now you want to take your 2 longer strips, the ones that are 1/2 inch by 11 inches, and that's what we're going to use to put around the base and the top. So it has this little trim right here. Again, you're going to want to take your tear and tape. Hopefully I have enough on this roll, otherwise I'm going to need to get a new one. Okay. There we go. Perfect. And then, oops, again, take the tear and tape, push it down a little bit, and then I like to use the take your pick tool, the pointed edge on one side, and then I sort of feel from the inside of the box where I left off with the printed paper with the designer series. And then again, you're just going to wrap. See, it has the adhesive all on this side, so you're going to wrap the this color is Blushing Bride pink strip all the way around and line it up with the bottom. And then you're going to do the same thing on the top. Okay, so then you take this one, and I just made a dozen of these for our neighborhood. Has a really good community of people that, you know, we just all communicate and talk to each other, but there's some healthcare workers and other essential workers that live in our neighborhood that our realtor friends have been dropping off some nice things and to them, and so I donated a dozen of these and then a dozen of the little treat thing we made last Friday. Okay, so now that we have the base of the little basket put together, there's a couple of different ways that you can do the handle. So I like to put it on the side, obviously where we have our seams. That's the back side. So I like to put it on the side. You can just glue it on, or you can hole punch it. And I have so many brads and things that I like to secure it with a brad. and use my stuff. This is a 1/16 of an inch hole punch, so it's nice and small. You could probably just pierce it also with the end of your take your pick tool. So I'm just gonna put the brads through. If I can pick it up. I'm gonna put the brads through right here. Come on. Okay, there we go. And then put this on the inside. You can kind of see how I did this one. I have a little flower brad right there. So we're doing the same thing. And then I'm going to use my pointed end of the take your pick tool to flatten that down. And same with here. Sorry, I don't know if you can see me in the camera, but I was just opening up those edges. So that's it. That's how you put together that little basket. Now, when you see, when you take a look at my PDF and the instructions, the baskets that I did for our neighborhood, I decorated the front a little bit differently. You can decorate it however you want. I know it's kind of hard to see right here on the Facebook video, but you'll be able to see it when you go to my blog. Okay, so what I like to do is fill it up with little candies. So I just put a piece of tissue paper or paper bag on the bottom. And then put your Easter grass in there. And then I have some candies here. And there's a sweet little treat that you can give to a neighbor, a friend, or your mailman, whoever. Can you see that? Oh, actually, that's the back because that's the seam. So let's turn all this around. There we go. Okay. All right, so that is project number 1. I think it's pretty simple. Hopefully, you don't need too many supplies to do that. And they're pretty quick and easy to put together, so give it a try. Okay. So the next project that we're going to put together is a rosette. Now, Pinterest and the internet calls these things different things all the time, but I call them a rosette. Let me show you what it is. I made 3 different ones for my kiddos. Yes, they still get Easter baskets. And I just printed out a name label for each one of them off my computer with a cute little font. So I'm going to show you how to make these. These you can make almost any size. I've made them huge as party decorations. I've made them as awards for our elementary schools, Halloween thing. Anyways, there's lots of different ways that you can use them. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need is the Brushing Bride cardstock. You're going to need 3 strips that measure 1 1/2 inch by 5.5 inches. And you're going to score all 3 strips at 1/2 inch. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. Again, we're going to use the Simply Scored tool. I'm going to put it up here at the corner. Where is my... Here we go. Again, I like to take my wax paper, and there's 2 different ends on the Simply Scored tool, you get this little stylus tool with the board. There's a larger end and then there's a thinner. I kind of move back and forth, but the cardstock, the Stampin' Up! Cardstock, if that's what you're using, is nice and thick, and you really don't need the thicker edge. The thinner edge does just fine. So make sure it's all the way up in the far left corner, and you're gonna score this at a 1/2 inch all the way down the strip. So every 1/2 inch. Okay. So let's put that aside. Okay, so now you have your 3 strips that are all scored at every 1/2 inch. The next thing that you're gonna need is a piece of designer series paper, or printed paper, whatever you have. I like the rainbow side, I guess you want to call it. It measures 1 inch by 3 inches, so you need 2 pieces of that. Then you're going to need matching piece of cardstock. I'm using Blushing Bride. You're going to need to punch a 2-inch circle. So I used our 2-inch circle punch and cut a circle there. And that's all that we need so far to get started with the rosette. Okay, so you're going to take your 3 strips and you're going to just start folding, accordion folding each one. Okay, and I have a hot glue gun here, but you can't see it on my camera, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a strip of hot glue. It just works best with hot glue. I'm sure you could use another adhesive, but I have found that hot glue is the best. And you're going to glue all 3, just kind of lock them into place like that. Okay, so you now have all of your strips glued together. Then you're going to want to glue these 2 together. So I put a strip of hot glue there. I didn't do that right. I put it on the wrong part. Okay. Easy fix. Cut it off. Let's try that again. So these are going to lock. Hold on. Let me get my bearings here, guys. Okay, what did I do here? Okay. Oops. We're going to want to lock these into place with the hot glue. Gosh, that dries so fast. And then you're going to want to flatten, whoops, and get it all accordion folded together, and then just kind of hold it. Then you take your 2-inch, I'm off to the side just putting a puddle of hot glue on it. Okay, you can see that, a puddle of hot glue. And then you just place this into the center of that and hold it down for, I don't know, a few seconds. All right. Then it doesn't matter if it's centered on the back. If you look at my other ones, I don't think those are, they're somewhat centered, but it's really not that important. It's the back side, right? Okay, so then you take, there's your rosette. You can pretty much do that in any size. I've made them, you know, 12 inches, 18 inches as decorations and centerpieces for parties. So you can make them as big as you want. So now you're going to take your 2 pieces of your DSP, your printed cardstock, again, that measure 3 inches by 1 inch. And then I'm just going to flag the ends of each one of these. Okay. I think I like that end like that. Okay. And then I like to offset it just a little bit. So I'm just going to use my hot glue because I have it out, but you can use tear and tape, Tombow, whatever you have. Okay, so I just glued those together. So now the center piece, we're going to do this one a little bit different than how I have those 3. Excuse me. Okay, so I have just a scratch piece of Blushing Bride cardstock, and I'm going to use the this punch. This is the Starburst, right? Is that what it's called? The Starburst punch. And I'm going to punch out a Starburst. Now this is slightly bigger than the 2-inch circle, so it's probably, I don't know, maybe 2 1/4. And that is going to go on the back side. So what we're going to do is glue these little banners. Again, I'm using the hot glue just because it's here. We're going to use the little banners, flags, and then we'll glue that to the rosette. And then from here, you could do any colors. I mean, it happens to be Easter, so I'm doing Easter, but you could do this for anything. Then again, you're gonna use your matching designer series paper, and I'm using the 2-inch circle punch that fits perfectly inside there. I'm gonna use a little bit different glue here. I like the Tombow glue. Glue's nice and strong, and especially for the DSP. We'll just hold that there for a couple of seconds. And then instead of coloring one of these characters, because I think I'm going to give this, I already have the ones done for my kids. I'm going to give this to someone else. So I cut out with my Big Shot. I used the Word Wishes dies. These are all of the words that you get in the set, and it's the dies that match the A Wish for Everything stamp set. So the stamp set is comes in 2 boxes like this. It's a total of 38 stamps. And then the matching dies that coordinate with that stamp set is the Word Wishes dies. But it has all the holidays. Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day, New Year's, Easter, Merry Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's, Halloween. And then it has the word day, happy and merry. So I cut out, using my Big Shot, I cut out Happy Easter. And I'm just going to, I like to use this thin, kind of like a pen, like a ballpoint pen. You get them at the craft store. Stampin' Up! Does sell a fine tip glue, but I don't work well with it. I don't know. Maybe it's me, I'm not sure. So I found that this glue actually works better for me. And there we go. Happy Easter. And I think for this one, I am not going to add the ribbon on the back. I'm just going to attach it using a clothespin just like that and put it on the little gift that I'm giving. But it's super easy if you wanted to attach ribbon. I just cut, I think this is, yeah. Each strip is 12 inches, 12-inch long grosgrain ribbon. So I just cut 2 of them, used the hot glue, glued them on the back. That way I can just tie it onto their Easter basket. So those are the 3 that I did. Here's the one we did today. Super simple. There you go. Those are my 2 projects. I hope you guys liked everything. Don't forget, I still have my April gift with purchase special. Spend $50 with me using this host code, and I'm going to send you a free gift this month. This month I'm giving away a full pack of 10 of the craft pillow boxes. Perfect size to fit a little gift, especially a gift card, some candy, whatever. Great for any season. Ready to go. Well, anyways, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a great Good Friday, Easter weekend, and I will talk to you soon.